We're down, bro. Totally. Totes my goats. We're down. What they can't retcon, Donald Trump had nothing to do with the vaccine. Pete Buttigieg, the first openly gay cabinet member. None of that's actually true. What they'll do then is they'll try to fashion a narrative going forward. So the narrative now that a vaccine has been developed, clearly under the Trump administration, because it's been developed and Trump is still president, last time I checked. Is amazing. Joe, isn't it amazing we're having these conversations with actual media people who have to be told this? Trump's the president.
Weird.
They announced the vaccine yesterday. Did you guys miss all this? If-then equations, again, modus ponens, modus tollens, college, that logic. I'm just checking. Apparently it doesn't work in newsrooms, with 18-year-olds who just graduated with journalism degrees. So Andrew Cuomo's leading the way. In one of the most abhorrent, disgusting media appearances I've seen in modern times, instead of everyone sitting back and saying, you know what, I may not like the president, Andrew Cuomo clearly doesn't, but you know what, nice work with this vaccine. I'm not kidding. Endless hours and countless lives could be saved. And it was the right thing. And as the governor of a state that was significantly hit by coronavirus, and in this delicate transition time, which he would say, not me, but it's only appropriate to say this is a good thing for all of us. Principled statement, right? That's what I tried to do with you today on another issue. Your principles should matter. But they didn't matter to Andrew Cuomo because he doesn't have any principles. Because he went on the air and said this absolute absurdity yesterday, which is one of the most offensive things I've ever heard. Check this out.
Of vaccine distribution in the next 2 months. What do you make of this news?
Well, it's good news, bad news, George. The good news is the Pfizer tests look good and we'll have a vaccine shortly. The bad news is that it's about 2 months before Joe Biden takes over. And that means this administration is going to be implementing a vaccine plan.
Get ready. We are always ahead of the curve here. We don't have any special powers. Neither Joe nor I are the Stygian witches, our favorite Stygian witches from the Clash. Give me the eye, where they can see the fume. That's on. I just have been doing this for a very long time. The narrative going forward is this. Every single hiccup in the distribution plan, Joe, there'll be one person in East Tunafish somewhere in the middle of nowhere who doesn't get the vaccine or gets it a day after they wanted it. The New York Times others will be out there tomorrow because they don't want to give Trump credit for anything. They have to acknowledge, they're going to have to acknowledge eventually it was his administration with the vaccine in conjunction with the free market. They don't want to do it. So now they're going to highlight every single hiccup, be like, look how disastrous this plan is. Look at this. Joey Bag of Donuts in East Tunafish. He said he was going to get the vaccine on Friday, and Joe, he got it on Saturday. Here's another one. The vaccine from Pfizer has to be stored in deep cold. There'll be some batch somewhere that'll get spoiled. The truck will break on the side of the road in the middle of Florida, and the batch will be, Trump did it. He drove that car off the road himself. He popped the brake lines. It was Trump. And then what'll happen? If Joe Biden wins, if he wins, what'll magically happen, Joe? The next day, they'll forget all those stories. Everything about the distribution will be wonderful. And what'll the narrative be? Joe Biden came in and he cleaned it all up. Joe Biden's like a logistics czar now. He should be doing spreadsheets and Microsoft project stuff because he's so smart. You know, he was smart enough to get 10% from the Chinese as the big guy. Sure enough, he can figure out the distribution plan for the vaccine, right? Right. Tell me that. You know this too. You've been arrow hand. I got to stop don't point. Arrow hand, right? Tell me, Armacost, this is not going to happen. They're going to highlight every guaranteed, brother. Guaranteed.
To the last second.
The last second. And the minute Joe Biden raises his right hand, if he wins, they're going to be like, oh my gosh, this is it's like magic. There were no more complaints anywhere about the vaccine. It's incredible. People in Peoria and Omaha and Chicago are out there. They're chanting in the streets how wonderful this is. Worshiping Golden Calves or Joe Biden. He cleaned up the plan. The plan is fixed, Joe Biden. Guaranteed. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, I have on good authority, on unimpeachable authority, that the Biden team is going to these Pfizer executives. You heard it here first. Well, maybe not first, but you definitely, I don't know who else reported, so I shouldn't say that categorically, but I'm pretty sure we may be first. I have on good authority that the Biden team is going to the Pfizer executives and the vaccine makers and others saying, don't say anything, but the Trump plan's pretty good. We're not going to change anything. Bingo! Heard it here first. I'll put my entire credibility on the line on it. The public statements and what's going on behind the scenes will be totally different. Trump plan's a mess. It's totally terrible. Behind the scenes, it's really good. Don't change anything. Because after Election Day, we're just going to give Joe Biden credit for it. And some people on the other side are like, we're down, bro. Totally. Totes my goats. We're down.
You just heard Dan Bongino.